All right, so you haven't taken your bike out for a while and it's just been sitting there. Here's a couple things you should be doing to make sure that your bike is good to go and it's safe. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check the tire pressure. This thing is completely deflated, and yeah, we're not gonna ride on that. So we're just gonna grab the bike stand, bike pump, and pump it up with air. All right, so we're gonna find the valve, take it off this cap and cover, grab yourself a nice bike pump, pump it up, check the front, check the rear, pump it up to a good PSI. All right, so when you're pumping up your tires, you want to check your tire wall. It'll tell you how much air pressure should be going in. This should be around here somewhere. It'll say between, probably if it's a road bike, it'll say between like 80 and 100 psi. I'm not sure, maybe it's over here. It's like right here, hardly could tell. But if you're pretty light, you could probably get away with lighter tire pressure. If you're a little heavier, you probably want a little more. That's good. All right, so depending on your weight, you want to be at least between the PSI range. And if you go below that, you're gonna get yourself a puncture when you're riding. Always make sure you're within this range. You can get a little higher, but the higher you go, the harder the tires are gonna be. The lower you go, the more cushion you get. Okay. All right, so the next thing after checking the tires, you're gonna check your gears. You gotta make sure the chain skips, doesn't skip, but that it clicks on each gear, nice and steady. That it doesn't just skip a bunch of gears. So you're just gonna grab the bike like this, hold it up, and then just shift up. So far so good. I don't hear any noise. I don't see any skipping. That's the rear. Here's the front. Front's harder. I don't see any skipping. Everything's shifting smoothly. And I don't need to adjust. If you need to adjust, I can make videos and show you how to do it. Use this barrel adjuster to add some tension or less tension. And you're gonna check the front. The front is a bit difficult. So you wanna hold the bike, get your hand over here, and just start shifting. So it's shifting pretty clear. You want to learn how to check your low limits and your high limits. So here, the chain isn't rubbing with the derailleur on the front. And you want to check over here. The front derailleur probably needs a little tension, but I can do this right here on the barrel adjuster. Just add a little tension. All right, the last thing, we're gonna do some safety checks. Make sure no bolts are loose. Again, if you haven't ridden in a while, you never know. Maybe someone moved the bike around, maybe someone sabotaged it and they want you to crash. So you're just gonna check put the wheel between your legs, just turn. As long as this doesn't move, it looks center. If it doesn't look center, grab yourself a multi-tool, something like this. And check, just tighten your bolts. Yeah, push down on the handlebar, make sure it doesn't slip. And check your seat post, make sure it's not loose. You want to make sure you open up and close, push down on the bike and open these up. Make sure that they're all the way set in the dropouts. Same thing with the front. Just push down and then close it. Close the quick release. Make sure your brakes aren't dragging along the rim. If you just look between here and the space, make sure there's clearance on both sides. If you need to move it, just grab it with your hand and just turn it a little bit. If you need a little more tension, use this barrel. You can add some tension. And make sure this latch is closed. This is open, this is closed. And your brake will feel better that way. Same thing with the rear. Make sure it's center. Make sure there's enough space. Make sure this is closed. And that's it. All right, and one final thing when you're checking the drivetrain, you want to check your chain, especially if you live in Florida or somewhere humid, and it's just gonna dry out. And you just want to Run your hand along it. Feel a little bit of what do you call it? Kind of like wax or a little bit lubricant. This looks good, but probably needs a clean. So that's a different video about cleaning. And yeah, you're ready to ride. Doing the front. 100 psi. If you don't have a bike stand or whatever, just hold it. Pump it up. Boom.